from the world of tech, what we are learning is that Meta will now adjust its content review policies on Facebook and Instagram, getting rid of fact checkers and replacing them with user-generated community notes similar to Elon Musk's X. The changes come just before President-elect Donald Trump is set to take office. Trump and other Republicans have lambasted Zuckerberg in the past, as well as his company Meta, for what they view as censorship of right-wing voices. First, let's listen in to the Meta CEO.
There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote non-stop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. We're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams.
Legacy media, bias, these kind of words coming in from Meta CEO. Pallavi continues to be with us on the broadcast. So Pallavi, what does it seem like? Political pressure or course correction?
See, course correction, because Donald Trump has been having an ongoing battle with Facebook, with Meta, because he's often accused them that they dictated the way the electoral results should go. So that's the course correction which they're looking at. See, what really changes is that Twitter, for example, as it's called X now, Ayushman, has done away with this concept of fact checkers who would check on the facts, review the posts, and so on and so forth. They instead have a system of community notes where the users themselves become as fact checkers. The similar practice is now going to be used as far as the Meta is concerned. And over there, as a point which we were hearing also, that there was this concern which was being raised, especially by Donald Trump, by many of his supporters, including Elon Musk, that, Facebook and Meta generally have been using a system in which there seems to be an aversion as far as one section which is called the right-wing section is concerned, so much so that they dictated the narrative, they did not allow the freedom of speech, and then also that it was very selective and arbitrary in the users and the usage. That is something which is now going to be done away with, and a policy which is now being aped by Meta as far as the X's earlier policy of community notes instead of fact checkers is concerned.
Absolutely. A big move coming in from Meta CEO Zuckerberg to mirror the traction that Elon Musk's X platform has with the right-wing ecosystem in the United States as well. So clearly some level of course correction, but a lot of voices also out there saying that this is nothing more than political pressure also coming in from Donald Trump's election, and he is set to take office later this month. And clearly it seems the message has gone out not just to the legacy media, but even to the tech giants.